1,746 vacant posts in different government departments. State Minister for Public Administration tells Parliament. Hindu community celebrating Saraswati Puja today, seeking grace of Goddess of Letters. "122 Awami League nominations for second phase Upazila elections announced. Popularity at grassroots level criterion of nomination, says Obaidul Qadir. Khaleda Zia's release jurisdiction of court, says Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood at Chattogram Book Fair inauguration. Lingering Rohingya repatriation could encourage radicalism, fears Foreign Minister, urges China and India to play a role in Rohingya repatriation. US-supported Kurdish militia starts attacking last IS bastion at Deir al-Jor in Syria. And in first practice match in Lincoln, New Zealand 11 beat Bangladesh 11 by 2 wickets. Bangladesh beat England in first youth test. Assalamu alaikum. We just heard the headlines. This is Imtiaz Ahmed Siddiqui welcoming you to News at 10 on BTV, BTV World and BTV Chattogram Centre.
And I'm Shamim Khan, welcoming you all. Those were the headlines. We now move on to the news in details. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina asked the LGRD Ministry to sketch out a master plan to build all upazilas under a specific development design aimed at protecting cropland and check sporadic construction of buildings, roads and other structures. Unplanned development of the upazilas should be regulated, and roads and ways of the upazilas should have to be made in a planned manner to save cropland as well as public money, she said while visiting the local government rural development LGRD and Cooperatives Ministry at the Secretariat in the capital this morning. The Prime Minister said the government is mulling to prepare annual budgets separately for every district and upazila, considering its size, population and geographical aspects to meet the demands of the local people, reach services to the doorsteps of the people and ensure optimum utilization of public money. Pointing out the importance of the LGRD Ministry for the country's development, the Premier said her government wants to decentralize the administration gradually, aimed at strengthening the local government bodies, engaging them in the local development initiatives and making all development sustainable. She said her government is taking overarching programs for development of education, healthcare and other sectors, but they should have planned considering the basic needs of the people living in village and town areas, she said. The Prime Minister expressed a firm conviction that Bangladesh would celebrate the Golden Jubilee of Independence as a hunger and poverty-free nation, saying none would neglect Bangladesh in future. Minister for LGRD and Cooperatives Muhammad Tajul Islam gave welcome address. World Bank will continue to cooperate with Bangladesh for its economic development. World Bank's country director in Bangladesh, Kimiao Fan, gave assurance when he paid a farewell call on Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina at her Jatiya Samsad office this evening. After the call on, Prime Minister's Press Secretary Ehsanul Karim briefing newsmen said Kimiao Fan highly appreciated Bangladesh's progress in human development, saying the country made tremendous advancement in the last decade. The World Bank country director said despite Bangladesh being a densely populated country, it has made significant progress in social and economic sectors as well as in poverty reduction. Rohingya issue also came up for discussion during the meeting. At the meeting, the Prime Minister said her government is trying its best to develop the country, although its development had been neglected for a long time during the military regime. The Prime Minister said Bangladesh has now become a developing country and the ultimate goal of the government is to be a developed one. Sheikh Hasina also apprised the World Bank country director about how her government is motivating mothers by giving them incentives to send children to schools. Japan has assured to cooperate with Bangladesh in resolving the Rohingya crisis, saying the issue has now turned into a complicated situation. Visiting Special Envoy of the Government of Japan for National Reconciliation in Myanmar and Goodwill Ambassador of the World Health Organization for Leprosy Elimination, Yohei Sasakawa, came up with the assurance when he called on Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina at Jatiya সংসদ Bhavan this evening. After the meeting, Prime Minister's Press Secretary Ihsan Karim briefed newsmen. Japan's Special Envoy said repatriation process of the Rohingyas is now at stalemate position to some extent, and the process could not be prolonged. In this regard, Yohei Sasakawa assured to continue his country's support in expediting the process. At the meeting, the Prime Minister mentioned that an island is being developed as temporary shelter for the Rohingyas to ensure their better living condition. About leprosy, the Prime Minister said her government began working on the disease since 1996 and had built several houses for the leprosy patients. In reply, the Japan's Special Envoy lauded Bangladesh's success in controlling leprosy and said such disease is now easily curable. A total of 3,36,746 posts are now vacant in the public offices of the government. The government has taken necessary steps to fulfill the vacant posts at different government offices. State Minister of Public Administration Farhad Hussain told this while replying to a question in the question and answer session in the Parliament today. Earlier, the sitting of the House resumed in the afternoon with Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhary in the chair. In reply to a question, the State Minister told the Parliament that the appointment process of 8,719 vacant posts of different ministries are now underway through the 38th, 39th and 40th BCS. Replying to a question, Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs Minister Anisul Haq told the House that initiative would be taken against the Jamaat as a party of war criminals through legal process. Replying to a question, State Minister of Fisheries and Livestock M. Ashraf Ali Khan Khosru said the government has distributed identity cards among 14,20,000 out of 16,20,000 fishermen across the country. Meanwhile, Environment, Forest and Climate Change Minister Muhammad Shahabuddin placed the Brickmaking and Brick Feed Establishment Control Amendment Bill 2019 in the Parliament, which was sent to the concerned Parliamentary Standing Committee for further scrutiny. Later, several parliamentary standing committees were formed. Parliamentary standing committees are on social welfare, primary and mass education, road transport and bridges, water resources, disaster management and relief, power, energy and mineral resources, public accounts and civil aviation and tourism ministries. Later, a general discussion was held on Thanksgiving motion on President's speech. Deputy Speaker Muhammad Fazil Rabbi Miah also presided over the session. The sitting of the House will resume in the afternoon tomorrow.
Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhary was present as chief guest at a discussion and cultural program organized by Bangladesh National Parliament Saraswati Festival Coordination Committee held at Rajdhani High School premises at Malik Mia Avenue in the capital today. She visited the Puja Mandap and greeted everyone and wished success of Saraswati Puja. Food Minister Shadhan Chandra Mojumdar, Whip Panchanon Bishas, Parliament Member Biren Shekdar, Pankaj Devnath and Senior Secretary of National Parliament Secretariat Dr. Jafar Ahmad Khan and other senior officials were present on the occasion. Later, Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhary enjoyed a colourful cultural program. Saraswati Puja, worshipping the goddess of knowledge, wisdom and culture, and one of the main religious festivals of the Hindu community, is being celebrated across the country today amid much enthusiasm, festivity and religious fervour. The puja is celebrated every year on the 5th day of the bright fortnight of the month of Magh, as goddess Saraswati was born on this day. The day is called Vasant Panchami. As Saraswati is considered as the goddess of wisdom and knowledge, Hindu devotees, especially students, celebrate the puja in different educational institutions and temples. In the capital, Saraswati Puja was arranged at different places, including Jagannath Hall of Dhaka University campus and Ramakrishna Mission, Siddheshwari Temple, Shakhari Bazar, Tati Bazar, Bonani, Dhaka College, Eden Girls College, Bhuvat, Ramna Kali Mandir and elsewhere in Dhaka city. Awami League has finalized 122 candidates for the second phase of the Upazila Parishad election for the chairman post. Awami League General Secretary Abdul Qadir announced the names of the nominated candidates at the Awami League President's political office of Dhanmondi in Dhaka today. Among others, Awami League Joint General Secretary Mahbubul Alam Hanif, Awami League Publicity and Public Relations Secretary and Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood, Office Secretary Dr. Abdul Saban Golab, Organizing Secretary Wib Abu Saeed Al Mahmoud Shapun were present on the occasion. Abdul Qadir said other names of the nominated candidates will be announced on the 22nd and 23rd February for the third and fourth phases respectively. He said if nearest relatives of the war criminals seek nominations, then their candidature will be cancelled after the proper investigations. Referring to BNP's filing cases against the general elections result in the tribunal, Abdul Qadir said the government would deal with the matter legally. Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood has said release of Khaleda Zia is under the jurisdiction of the court, and BNP's demand to Prime Minister for the BNP leader's release is party's sheer disrespect for law and the judiciary. He said this at the inauguration of Omar Ekushe Book Fair at the M. Aziz Stadium Gymnasium in Chattogram this afternoon. Advising the BNP to wage a legal battle, Dr. Hassan Mahmood said common people feel that BNP lacks sincerity in Khaleda Zia's release issue. Chattogram City Mayor Azadam Nasiruddin chaired the function. The Information Minister hoped that such book fairs would induce values and the habit of reading books among the young generation. Earlier, Dr. Hassan Mahmood inaugurated the fair, raising the national flag. He also went around different stalls at the fair, where about 100 bookstalls were put up by publishers from Dhaka and Chattogram. The fair will conclude on 28th February.
Now, international news. US-backed fighters in Syria say they're meeting fierce resistance in the last enclave held by Islamic State IS militants near the Iraqi border. A spokesman for the Syrian Democratic Forces told a news agency that the most experienced jihadists are defending the last stronghold. 2 years ago, IS controlled large areas of Syria and Iraq, but they are now holed up in a tiny pocket in Syria's eastern province of Deir al-Zor near the Iraqi border. The United States has presented a draft resolution on Venezuela to the United Nations Security Council, triggering a Russian counter-proposal. The U.S. draft resolution calls for international aid deliveries and presidential elections in Venezuela, while stressing deep concern with the violence and excessive use of force by Venezuelan security forces against unarmed peaceful protesters. In response, Moscow came up with an alternative resolution expressing its concern for Venezuela's territorial integrity and political independence. The U.S. is sponsoring a campaign for international recognition of Venezuelan opposition leader and head of the country's elected legislative body, Juan Guaido, over President Nicolas Maduro. Last month, Guaido declared himself the interim head of state. Thousands of people have been evacuated from a New Zealand town as firefighters battle a wildfire stoked by winds in the country's South Island. The blaze, which began 6 days ago near the city of Nelson, is now threatening the town of Wakefield. A state of emergency has been declared and about 3,000 people have fled their homes in the district of Tasman. Strong winds were expected, and officials warned that Sunday could be a critical danger point for the fire. The blaze is thought to be the worst forest fire in New Zealand in 1955. Since 1955, 23 helicopters and 2 planes have been deployed to tackle the blaze. Rain forecast for the area on Tuesday is expected to miss the fire zone.
The Election Commission has allocated symbols among the 5 mayoral candidates of Dhaka North City Corporation DNCC by-polls slated for February 28. Awami League mayoral aspirant Atiqul Islam got vote symbol, while Shafin Ahmed of Jatiya Party was allocated plough symbol. Besides, independent candidate Abdul Rahim got tablecloth symbol, while National People's Party's Anisur Rahman Mango and Progressive Democratic Party's Shaheen Khan Tiger. Election symbols were also distributed among the councillors and reserved women councillor candidates contesting in the newly inducted 36 wards of Dhaka South and North City Corporations. The NCC election returning officer Abul Qasim allocated the symbols among the aspirants under his jurisdiction. Awami League candidate Saida Zakia Noor Lipi has been elected uncontested in the election to the Kishorganj 1 parliamentary constituency, which is previously represented by her brother, late Public Administration Minister Syed Ashraful Islam. Returning officer and Kishorganj Deputy Commissioner Sabar Murshid Chaudhry declared the winner, as all other aspirants withdrew candidacy for the constituency today. Bhupen Chandra Bhaumik Dolon of the Ganatantri Party withdrew nomination today. Earlier, Mustain Billah of Jatiya Party also withdrew his nomination. Foreign Minister Dr. A.K. Momen has apprehended that prolonged stay of forcefully evacuated Rohingyas from Myanmar to Bangladesh may give rise to extremism in this area. He said this while speaking at a seminar titled Bangladesh and Human Rights in Dhaka today. Foreign Minister also sought the help of influential neighboring countries to repatriate the Rohingyas in the shortest possible time. Among others, Chairman of the Standing Committee on Information Ministry Hassanul Haq Inu, UN Resident Coordinator Mia Sipo, and representatives of human rights organizations took part in the discussion. Later, while briefing, Foreign Minister said Bangladesh has set an example in the world to establish human rights. In reply to a question, Dr. A.K. Momen said India has assured to help Bangladesh to resolve Rohingya crisis. World Bank country representative to Bangladesh, Chi Miao Fan, made a farewell call on Planning Minister M.A. Mannan at the Planning Ministry at capital's Agargaon today. During the meeting, they discussed issues of bilateral interest. Mr. Chi Miao Fan appreciated Bangladesh's continuous rise in different economic indices. Planning Minister M.A. Mannan highlighted progress of different development plans under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and thanked the World Bank for continuous support in Bangladesh's development and hoped that country will get added cooperation of the Global Finance Organization in the coming days. Awami League Presidium member and 14-party spokesman Mohammad Naseem has urged elected members of Parliament from BNP and Oikofront to join the Parliament. He made the call while speaking at a public rally at Kazipur Upazila of Sirajganj organized by local Awami League. Mohammad Naseem said BNP has failed to organize people and to free Begum Khalida Zia. Local Awami League leaders and supporters were present at the meeting. And now, weather news. Ridge of subcontinental high extends up to West Bengal and adjoining area. Seasonal low lies over South Bay. Dhaka Met Office said weather may remain dry with temporary partly cloudy sky over the country. Light to moderate fog may occur at places over the country during last night to morning, and day temperature may rise slightly over the country.
Now news on sports. Bangladesh 11 lost to New Zealand 11 by 2 wickets in the warm-up ODI match in Lincoln today. Chasing the victory target of 248 runs, New Zealand 11 reached the target and scored 251 runs for 8 in 48 overs 1 ball. Andrew Fletcher scored 92 runs for the team. Earlier, Bangladesh 11 batted first and scored 247 runs for all in 46 overs 1 ball. Mahmood Al Riyad scored 72 runs while Mushfiqur Rahim scored 62 for the visitors. Bangladesh under-19 team beat England under-19 team by 8 wickets in the first test of the 2-match series in Chattogram today. Chasing the victory target of 35 runs, Bangladesh reached the target for 2. England under-19 team scored 152 runs in the second innings. Bangladesh under-19 team declared the first innings on 398 runs for 9 in reply to England's 280 runs. Minhazur Rahman was adjudged man of the match. And now to end the bulletin, a recap of the top stories. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina asked for preparation of Upazila level master plan for infrastructure development. Government taking steps to fill up 3,36,746 vacant posts in different government departments, State Minister of Public Administration tells Parliament. Hindu community celebrating Saraswati Puja today, seeking grace of Goddess of Letters. "122 Awami League nominations for second phase Upazila elections announced. Popularity at grassroots level, criterion of nomination, says Ubaidul Qadir. Khalid Aziz released jurisdiction of court, says Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood at Chattogram Book Fair inauguration. Lingering Rohingya repatriation could encourage radicalism, fears Foreign Minister, urges China and India to play a role in Rohingya repatriation. US-supported Kurdish militia starts attacking last IS bastion at Deir al-Zor in Syria. And in the first practice match in Lincoln, New Zealand 11 beat Bangladesh 11 by 2 wickets. Bangladesh beat England in the first youth test.
And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us. Our news bulletin is coming up at 11:30 in Bangla. Until then, Khuda Hafiz.
Khuda Hafiz.